guys, so this is as natural and free as my hair is going to look, so I thought it'd be a great time to take it as an opportunity and basically just give my introduction and 6-month update on my transitioning hair. So I've been kind of talking about this on and off in the past in some odd hair videos. I don't really do too many of those, but since my channel is an everything channel, I thought I might as well share this aspect of my life. And yeah, sorry if I come across a little bit spacey, a bit out of it, not my usual self. I am having some cold issues and other issues and I'm just not feeling great, but I thought I might as well get this done because it's a nice kind of good mark to talk about, 6-month update, and also to actually give you an official introduction because I don't think I've actually properly said what's happening. So let's get cracking. So for those of you who are new to my channel, you don't really know me or whatever, hello, my name is Jen. I have relaxed hair. All this is relaxed and all this is not relaxed, like all this thick stuff here is natural. So my last hair relaxer was on the 2nd of September 2016. We're in the kind of end part of March at the moment as I'm filming this. I think it's the 21st today, but I think I've been 6 months, a little over 6 months that I've had my last relaxer, and I just kind of wanted to talk about the experience a little bit so far and sort of what I hope to do going on to hopefully a year and then possibly a big chop, I don't know. So I do have a picture of my last relaxer that I'll show you. I also have since dyed my hair as well. So basically my plan of action for this was I knew that I wanted to go natural at some point just because I just didn't like relaxing my hair anymore. I just didn't want to keep putting that sort of product on my hair, and I wanted to be, you know, as natural as I could in terms of my hair, and, you know, not putting as many harsh chemicals on it. So I decided, okay, September, it was a little bit before my birthday, a little bit before I started my 2nd year of uni. I'm just going to relax it, and then that's going to be my last one, just because I had the way I relaxed my hair for the last couple of months, or maybe it's a bit longer, I think it might have been a year. I used to split the cream and like get them to mix it separately, so I had half. So technically I was using one pot of relaxer, but I could get 2 uses out of it because I wasn't mixing it all together, I was mixing it in separate kind of containers or whatever. So I went to use the last batch of that to get my money's worth, I suppose. My cousins thought I was basically an addict because I was like, no, I must finish it, I must finish it. But I was like, no, I just want to get my money's worth. So that's what I did, and then I thought, okay, from that point on, no more. I'm just going to see what happens. And I've gone quite a while without relaxing my hair as well. Before, I used to get it done like every 6 weeks, and then I spaced out to every 9 weeks, and then it was just like every couple of months, I suppose, whenever I felt like I wanted it done, I suppose, but you know, with a good space in between. So that's what I was doing for the last couple of years beforehand. I have been relaxing my hair since I was 12 years old. I got it done before I started secondary school, and then so I'm 20, almost 21 years old now, so I've had it done for quite a few years. In terms of how I was going to keep my hair, I didn't want to do a big chop straight away because I do like my length, and I am a little bit self-conscious about how my face will look without hair around it, I guess, how it will frame my face, because I'm aware I have a slight chunky face, and I'm not too sure if that's going to amplify my circular head or, I don't know, complement it. I'm not too sure, but I guess I won't find out until I actually do it. So initially what I was going to do was every time I got a refresher style at my hairdressers, I would ask her to trim a little bit off. It turned out that I wasn't really getting these protective refresher styles very often, and if I was just doing it myself, and then it just also turned out that I didn't end up cutting my hair. So I haven't trimmed it, I haven't done anything, I've just kind of let it naturally do its thing, tried to look after it as best as I could with the as least manipulation as I could fathom, I suppose, but I'm just trying to keep it moisturised and look after it as well as I can, really. I rarely have it out like this. I usually keep it in like cane rows or cornrows, however you pronounce it. I've been grown up with it being called cane rows, so that's how I usually call it. And then I wear those for quite a while. Sometimes I'll just wear those until I decide to wash my hair next, or I'll wear those for a while and then I'll take it out and have curly hair for a couple of days, put it in bunches or something like that, and then I go and wash my hair. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. I haven't been cutting it, I haven't been anything. The only thing I've really done to it is added black dye, and I'm one of those people that said I'd never ever dye my hair black. The darkest I've had it since this, because my natural hair is very, very, very dark brown. It looks black, but when I first relaxed it, I was like, oh my god, my hair's brown. So yeah, it's very, very dark brown. The darkest hair I've ever had was like a cherry red colour, so it was more of like a deep purple that reflected kind of red shades under the sun, but that was I think it's called Black Cherry by L'Oreal, like ages ago when I first dyed my hair. So it wasn't really a true black. So this is the darkest I've been. It was a shock. It took a little while to get used to it. And the reason I wanted to dye it all black is because my lengths of my hair, the majority of my hair was actually like an orangey blonde colour from where I just used like temporary dyes and stuff. But I have used a blonde hair dye, like a boxed blonde hair dye, I think twice in my life. So the colour has been lifted on the roots, on the ends, sorry, and that's why I had quite light ends. And I thought, okay, this is a little bit annoying because every time I put extensions in, I'm going to have to try and find a colour that blends quite nicely with both colours of my hair, because obviously dark brown at the top, orangey blonde at the bottom, / pink sometimes. And it was annoying because some of you might have seen my kind of like candy corn fire ombre hair that I had. I only really went for that colour because one, it was a really nice colour, and two, it blended in with my hair a bit better. Whereas if I wanted to go for blue, it would look obvious with my dark brown hair and orange ends we've woven into this random blue colour, you know. So I thought if I have it all black, at least then I can get a nice transition into another colour, and black's a nice colour to kind of like fade and ombre into another shade regardless of what it is anyway. So I just thought that would be a good idea, and in theory I won't have these ends for much longer anyway. This is how I'm feeling as of now, at least. So, you know, I'm not really putting too much damage, and it's only going to be a one dye situation. I'm not going to dye this black again. At least not for now. I don't want to dye it black again. So hopefully by the time I decide to cut off my ends and that, I would have washed out quite a lot from the roots maybe, or those even would have been cut off, I don't know, depends how long my hair grows. And then hopefully I'll be working with completely virgin hair for me to then do whatever I want to do with it later date. I'm just going to quickly talk about some of the protective styles I've had so far. Again, I've just had random cornrows, cane rows, plaits on my hair, just with my hair, no extensions. And then I've had a few different coloured single plaits that I've done myself with extensions. And then I've usually kept the protective styles in, like the ones with extensions and that, I've kept them in for about 7 weeks or so. And then the first kind of proper protective style I had, when I really kind of thought, oh yeah, I guess this is a protective style, was my crochet braids, or crochet twists, which I've got a video all about if you're interested in. And yeah, so I feel like they've taken out my edges a little bit, because I feel like I'm quite sparse here and here. You can even see that it dents in a little bit and it feels thinner. But in terms of actual thickness, like this actually feels really thick in comparison to that, and I can actually feel some of the individual like coily curls. I'm not too sure what my previous texture was before I ever relaxed my hair. I don't think I actually have any pictures of my hair in its complete natural state at an age where it would have been the case, you know, because I've got loads of baby pictures of my hair natural, but it's all soft baby hair, you know. My hair wasn't like that for the majority of my years before I started relaxing it. So I don't actually have anything that shows the true texture of my hair, because in pictures and photos and stuff like that, it's either like all up in plaits, or it's like blown out or straightened for like school photos or whatever maybe. So I can't see what my true texture is, but I know it was big. There was a lot of it, and it kind of grew out, sort of thing. So as well, in the very beginnings of when I was gonna like start going natural with my hair, I was gonna do a thing where I sort of slowly transitioned out of the relaxer, because I didn't know if it was gonna be like a really big shock and my hair would just instantly break. Obviously I've never dealt with this before, so I didn't know how it would be. So what I was gonna do was like slowly dilute the relaxer that I was putting it on, and kind of, when I say dilute, I mean just like leave it on for less and less time, so that it was more like a texlaxing. So I still had quite a bit of my texture, but it was more tamed. And that's what I was going to do. I thought, oh, that would work, and it would kind of get my hair used to slowly, I guess, withdrawing from the product. But in the end, I just completely stopped getting my hair relaxed. I didn't bother with the transition into texlax. I just stopped. I guess I wanted to ease it out of the relaxer, but in my head the reality of doing that was just, it was going to take too long, and I didn't really see the point of it in the end, so I just stopped and just, you know, stopped relaxing my hair, full stop. I do have a few points to talk about when it comes to dealing with two textures. I feel like you're not really getting seeing a lot. I guess it would have been easier to show you when I had like the blonde bits in my hair, because it would have made it easier for you to see the different textures and that, but I've only just thought about that in hindsight. But as you can see, when I pull my hair, I've got really thick roots coming through, and then it strings, and I noticed that my hair's not really shedding a lot, it's not breaking a lot, but when I pick up a little bit, the lengths look so thin and pathetic compared to the mass of hair that is at the root at the moment. Do you see what I mean? Like, it just seems like too little is coming out of one area that looks pretty thick. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, back to dealing with two textures. But I do find that it's quite knotty where the two textures meet. I think it's called the line of demarcation. I frequently find myself just working through little knots if I've got my hair down. I haven't really done it too much today, but I've caught myself in like lectures where I've been like just pulling at my hair, which is bad. You shouldn't really be doing it like on completely dry hair, but I've been doing it for a little while, just slowly working things out. If I'm sitting in front of the telly, I'm not really doing anything, and it's not caused any distress. I go through it quite slowly. Sometimes I might go upstairs and get some oil or whatever, or just wet my hair and just slowly pick through it if I want to do it properly. Most of the time I find myself just detangling it without even realising. So I do find it's really quite difficult here, especially when I get right down to the root. That's really difficult. It's kind of hard to wash. I feel like it takes a little bit longer because I'm having to detangle it before I wash it, and then I'm detangling it when I am washing it, and then I'm pretty much detangling it after I wash it as well, because it's just, I don't know, it gets, I guess, matted quite easily now, which is annoying, but I think it could be worse. At first, when I first took it out of my plaits and everything, I always notice it's worse when I take it out of a protective style, which is a bit ludicrous, but I find that where I've been like sleeping, I guess, and even though I still wear a wrap and everything, I've been sleeping or the hair's just been plaited too tightly for too long, it's kind of rubbed against each other, and I guess that's what's causing the knots, and the friction there is causing the matting of the hair. So that's annoying, because obviously I want to wear as many protective styles as I can to keep it out of the way so I'm not touching it as much, but when I take it down I find that I've still got knots and I'm going to have to work that out, you know what I mean? So that's a little bit annoying. So I don't really bother too badly with protective styles. Like, I've been fine keeping my hair in my own plaits without any like added accessories, like no like extensions or anything like that. So I think that works better for me, because especially if I do it myself, I can take the time to detangle it and plait it up myself, and you know, just look after it, I suppose. But yeah, in terms of my regrowth, it's really soft, but definitely drier than the lengths of my hair. I like that I can feel individual curls. When I find like little tiny random curls, they feel quite nice and shiny, but the rest of my hair that's more thicker, and I guess they'd be looser curls because it just feels like fluff. They feel like kind of dry, like they need some more moisture, but I'm just kind of doing what I usually do, which is moisturise it every other day. Yeah, and that seems to be working fine, I suppose. I just find that this feels more dry, like it needs more moisture obviously than my relaxed ends. So it's just finding the balance there of not overhydrating the ends but not dehydrating the roots, you know. I do find that it's getting a little bit trickier to give some love to the relaxed ends that it needs, because I find that most of the time my hair is up away from my face or plaited back. So even though I'm going about and doing my moisturising routine and everything like that, I'm a little bit lazy, and if I have plaits in like cane rows and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'm going to undo them and have them really curly like I've done today, I don't like to take them out very often because I feel like that ruins the amount of time they've been curled for. So I literally just slap the moisturiser and the oil and everything and work it in whilst it's in the style. I feel like that's a lazy way around it. I mean, I still get good results, but I just think I could obviously care for this a lot more. So those 2 points are a little bit, what's the word? Contradictive in a way, but it just depends on how I'm wearing my hair, I guess. And yeah, I do notice that this doesn't get as much attention when it's plaited back. But it's still going strong, it's still alright, nothing terrible's happened yet. So I've already mentioned a little bit about the thickness of my hair and then some random curls. So I've noticed that where the regrowth is coming through, I've got quite a few, multiple textures really that's coming through along with it. For example, the back of my hair is more soft and fluffy, and it doesn't feel like a lot has come through. I don't know if that's just a problem area or if it's just the texture of the hair doesn't feel like a lot's come through when it maybe has, I don't know. And then the kind of crown area of my head seems to be thick, and I can feel some individual tighter curls, which are quite cute to play with. In the front of my hair, I'm having a little bit of issue kind of working some growth to get back here, but it does feel, again, a little bit more thicker, I suppose. So I am really interested in eventually discovering what my actual hair type is. I have a strong feeling that it's going to be a few multiple different types going on, so that's going to be annoying to try and sort out. But yeah, that is it for this video. Sorry I've not been as lively, I've already mentioned why. If you have any tips or advice or anything like that, do feel free to share them. and I'll take some of those on board, I'm sure. But yeah, thanks for watching and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.